guys? It's Will here from W.T.F Car Reviews, and today we're going to be reviewing this 2007 Toyota Camry XLE V6. All right, before we start, I just want to give a huge thank you to Jordan, salesperson here at Jenkins Mitsubishi, for letting me review his really clean 2007 Toyota Camry V6. This is one of the cleanest versions I've seen of this car. You'll see once we start this review. It's a really impressive vehicle. It only has about 69,000 miles on it. It's going to have the 268 horsepower V6 engine, which is enough to get this thing to 60 in around 6 seconds, maybe even quicker than that, depending on your traction. So this is definitely a big time sleeper sedan. This is the first year of the 4th generation for the US sold Camrys. Of course, this being the 2007, the 4th generation lasted till about 2011, I believe. That's when the 5th generation came out. But to get started with this review, we'll come up front. You're going to notice you got your projector beam by Xenon or HID headlights, and you're also going to have your high beam right here with your turn signal, which is also a projector bulb. Pretty cool overall. Coming down here, you are going to get halogen fog lights too. That's nice to have. A lot of manufacturers are starting to go away with the whole fog light design. But as far as the grille, you are going to have a color match grille. And as far as the color, you got a really nice metallic bronzish color. I'm not quite sure what it is, but I really like it. It really looks really good out here in the Florida sun. Continuing over here, you're going to notice your Toyota badge. You're not going to have any additional airflow. This is completely going to be blocked off. But over here, you got plenty of airflow that leads to your radiator. Coming down here, you got a little bit of additional airflow as well. But we'll take a step back. You guys can check out the front styling. And let's go over here and check out this wheel and tire setup. So over here, you are going to have only 16-inch alloy rims. They're going to be wrapped in 215/60 R16 Michelin Premier all-season tires. So no, not the most aggressive sport tire, but it's going to be really comfortable with the 60 series sidewall. It's definitely going to absorb the bumps very well. Continuing over here, you're going to notice your mirror over here. You're not going to have any blind spot monitoring, unfortunately, for a 2007 car, but this does fill up the frame very well. You are going to have a pretty good use of the space. Coming over here, you're going to be pretty impressed. You do get smart access for the driver and the front passenger. That's a nice touch for a 2007 vehicle. Continuing up here, you're going to notice this owner has tinted the rear windows and a little bit of a tint for the front as well. Not quite as dark as the rear, but coming back here for the rear windshield, you're also going to have pretty dark tints. Definitely a fan of the overall contrast, especially with this chrome strip over here. Usually I'm not a fan of chrome, but when you match it with these tinted windows with this nice little gold metallic paint, it does look pretty good. Coming over here, you're not going to have any push to open gas tank over here. I'll show you guys where the latch is on the inside. Back here, you got your tail lights with your reverse lights over here, and the turn signals, of course. Toyota badge. You got dual exhaust tips, XLE badge right there. But we'll take one step back. You guys can check out the rear styling over here. But let's start this 2007 Camry V6 up and hear how she sounds. All right, guys, that was of course the sound of the 3.5 liter V6 sold by Toyota for this Camry XLE. But let's pop this hood real quick as soon as we can find this latch, which is a little bit tough to grab with one hand, but we'll figure it out. But it is nice that we do get hydraulic struts for this 2007 Camry. But there you have it, guys. Not the best spot for the battery, but not a big deal since the engine is pushed pretty well to the left. The intake is towards the back of the engine bay. Not the best overall design, but they did think it through with a little bit of a tunnel over here to bring in some extra airflow. But that's about it, guys. Pretty straightforward. The engine's going to make about 268 horsepower and 254 pound-feet of torque, enough to get this thing to 60 in around 6 seconds. There have been people that have gotten it to around 5.8 with some stickier tires, so this is definitely a sleeper sedan. Now you can pick these up for between $5,000 to $10,000 depending on the condition. This is a really good value vehicle, especially if you're looking for a first car with a decent amount of performance. But we'll take one more step back, guys. Really good overall design. It's definitely timeless. It's going to look modern for a very long time, in my opinion. But let's take a step over here to the interior and check it out where it really counts in this car. So up top over here, you're going to have some soft touch materials for where your arm will often rest, with some hard plastic down here for the frame of the door panel. And you are going to have some wood accents over here. Definitely going to make the vehicle look a lot more high quality on the interior. Over here, this whole area is going to be a really soft padded leather, very comfortable for your arm. And check out the condition. You're not going to have any creases at all. This car has almost 70,000 miles on it, and it has held up really well. We're going to continue to see how well it's held up. But down here, more hard plastic. You got a decent amount of storage over here. No cup holders, unfortunately, but not a big deal. Over here, you do get a Power One Touch window. It's not going to be a dual pane window, not a big deal. It's also power one touch on the way up. The other mirrors not going to be, the other windows are not going to be power one touch. To adjust the mirrors, you're going to have the controls right over here. Down here, you're going to have your gas tank release with your trunk release and the hood release right here. You're also going to have the e-brake right over here. But check out these seats. So with almost 70,000 miles on them, they're holding up fantastically. The bolsters, very nice, really comfortable seats, very couch-like, very soft leather. You are going to have a little bit of creasing down here, slight discoloration, but you would expect that over 70,000 miles. Really good, really soft overall. But down here, you're going to have full adjustability. You're going to have your lumbar controls. You're going to have your power recline, power slide, and you have height adjustments as well. But let's step inside this 2007 Camry V6 and see what we got. Let's turn down the air conditioning one. But first thing you notice is the steering wheel. It's going to be pretty large, but you are going to have a leather wrapped steering wheel. It is going to be hydraulically assisted too, no electric steering rack, so you're going to have much better feel compared to a lot of vehicles in this segment today. As far as steering wheel controls, you're going to be able to adjust your volume right here. You can skip the songs over here as well. You can change between FM, AM, and aux right here. You got your voice commands down here. You can adjust the air conditioning right over here too. You can't adjust the fan speed. You can set it to auto, or you can just adjust the temperature right here. Right here, you can change the display. You got more voice commands over here, and your cruise control settings down there. As far as the turn signals, they do feel pretty high quality. They are holding up very well over time. You are going to have rain sensing wipers too. That's going to be nice. But other than that, the steering wheel is tilt and telescoping, not power. It's manual tilt and telescoping, but it still does it nevertheless. You got a little bit of a secret storage compartment over here. As far as the gauges, you are going to have about a 6,300 RPM tachometer with 160 mile an hour dash. I don't know if you guys can pick it up through the camera, but this is a little bit like trippy because it's kind of projected towards you. It looks a little bit 3D. But other than that, that's about it. As far as the gauges, you got your fuel information right here. As far as the infotainment display, there really isn't much. You're gonna have your clock up top. Nice they gave you that. I don't know if you guys can pick it up. But the vents, the AC is blowing very cold. I'm not sure if this vehicle's had its AC replaced, but for 70,000 miles, it's blowing ice cold. Dashboard, it's gonna be soft touch, to be expected with the XLE trim. But over here, you got your volume adjustments. Overall, very nice materials. It's not aluminum, it's gonna be plastic, but it looks almost like an aluminum. This vehicle does have a JBL sound system too. It sounds very, very nice. But over here, basic display, you're going to just see what songs playing, but pretty basic overall. You are going to have a CD player, to be expected with a 2007 vehicle. My grandpa actually had the 2007 GS 350 Lexus, and not only did he have the CD player, of course, which is to be expected, he also had a cassette player, and it was a little bit dated at the time, but this vehicle does not have the cassette player, even though it is coming from the same year. But other than that, you come down here, you do have auto climate, to be expected. You got really large storage over here. You're not going to have any USB ports, not really expected with the 2007 vehicle, but you do get your aux right here and your cigarette charger / 12 volt over there. But coming back here, you are going to have more wood grain trim. I'm not sure if it's real. It's probably not real, but it looks really nice. You open this up, of course, you got your two cup holders, and over here you got your gear selector. Pretty cool. You got to move it around quite a bit. You're in reverse, no backup camera, obviously, neutral, drive, and you are going to have manual shift modes. They're not going in the right direction. To downshift, you pull back. To upshift, you push forward, but we'll throw it back into park. Over here, you are going to have a little bit of extra storage. It's not going to be a cup holder, but you got a nice tray for some coins and additional 12 volt right here. But we'll shut that up. We're not going to check out the inside of the center console. Of course, this isn't my vehicle, but as far as the armrest, very soft armrest, nice place to rest your arm, and it does slide back and forth, so you can adjust it while you're driving. But anyway, you can check out the rest over here. This is going to be hard plastic material. Down here, you're going to have a pretty large glove box. You can fit probably like 20 license plates, because you can probably fit 2 sets of them because of how huge it is on the inside. You're gonna have an auto dimming rear view mirror with a compass, sunroof right here. It's pretty large compared to most vehicles. Sunroof, it's not gonna be a panoramic like you get nowadays, but it's still pretty large for an old school sunroof. You can see that it does take up a really large amount of space. But anyway, you can see the headliner too. It's not gonna be the same material as most vehicles. It's not Alcantara or suede, but it is much more carpeted than most vehicles. It does feel pretty high quality. But we'll shut this thing up. Actually, we'll leave it open, get a little bit of sunlight into the cabin. That's about it for the front seat, guys. Pretty high quality. It's held up really, really well over time. I hope you guys can pick it up through the camera. Let's check out the back seat and see what we got offered back there. All right, guys, stepping in the back seat of the 2007 Camry XLE. So up top, you're still gonna have the soft touch materials for the upper part of the door panel. Very nice for a vehicle in the price range, which is around 27,000 bucks at the time that it was brand new. Down here, you're gonna have some hard plastic which surrounds the door frame, to be expected, but this whole area where your arm will be resting is gonna be a really soft leather material. And as you see, it's held up absolutely perfectly over time, zero creases, nothing like that. The grab handle is going to be hard plastic, a little bit of wood trim over here with the aluminum door handle. As far as the seats, really comfortable seats. They're going to be padded all the way to the door frame. You can see these seats, they have absolutely zero creases. They've held up absolutely wonderfully over time. But let's take a step inside, see how much space we got back here. But I'm 6 feet tall, sitting behind my seat settings, and my knees are about an inch or two before they're starting to hit. Not the most legroom. I know the Camrys nowadays are really impressive when it comes to legroom. You are going to have vents back here. That's definitely nice for a top trim on the Camry. So no adjustments outside of vent speed. You're not going to get adjustments for the temperature, but not a really big deal. You are going to have map pockets behind both driver and a front passenger. As far as the armrest, you're not going to have a string, so you're going to have to jab your hand in the middle to get it out. But look, check it out. It's going to be really massively padded, super soft leather. You can check out the cup holders right here, pretty deep. They are rubberized. You can throw some stuff in there. Nothing's going to be rattling around. And if you guys are into skiing or whatnot, you guys have a little bit of a pass-through too. You can throw your skis through there. But anyway, we'll shut that up, close this up. That's about it for the back seat, guys. Pretty impressive. Really nice quality materials. The seats are super comfortable. And I do have a pretty decent amount of legroom left. Not the most legroom. If I was going to be on long trips, I'd probably choose to sit behind the passenger instead of the driver. But anybody that's under 6 feet tall would be more than comfortable back here. But that's about it for the back seat, guys. Let's check out the trunk real quick and then take this car out for a drive. All right, guys, stepping in the trunk, you pop it up right here. You can see the opening is absolutely massive. You can fit a lot of stuff back here simply because of how easily you can just drop things into this trunk. You go into here, you can see it's pretty good in terms of depth too. It does fall in about, I guess, like maybe 8 inches or so. Very wide trunk, really spacious. Definitely a thumbs up for Toyota. You're definitely gonna have no problems with anything about this trunk except for possibly these hinges. They may crush your cargo because they don't have anything to support them on the outside. But other than that, we can shut this thing up, take a step back. You guys can see the styling one last time. But let's take this car out for a drive. All right, guys, now that we've just about seen everything we need to see with the inside and outside of this 2007 Toyota Camry V6, let's take it out for a drive and see how she really performs. And the first thing I notice is, since this is a hydraulic steering rack, you're gonna have a lot more feel through the wheel than you would with modern vehicles, especially for the segment. And considering that the tires on this vehicle are 60 sidewall with 16-inch rims, you're still gonna have really good feel through the wheel, which is just not really expected. But all right, stepping out into this road, really good throttle response, like surprisingly impressive, and just barely tapping the gas, going to about 3,000 RPM, the vehicle picks up really well. It's pretty aggressively tuned. I barely tapped in the gas and the RPMs did go up quite a bit. And going through these turns at around 26 miles per hour, you're starting to have a little bit less feel through the wheel, which is a little surprising. And just cruising, the vehicle is very quiet, very nice ride quality too. And going through these turns right here, not the most feel through the steering wheel. It did feel a lot better when we weren't moving, but it still feels very direct and very easy to point and shoot, especially considering that we're in a mid-size sedan. But we got a guy in front of us, he's going pretty slow. I'll catch back with you guys when we got a little bit of open road. But all right, let's step out into this road over here. We are gonna have a little bit of a twisty section of this road, and on the gas about halfway, we do pick up pretty well. It doesn't really start to really pick up until you cross 3,500 RPMs. Throwing it in, a lot of body roll. Wow, that was actually not expected on how much it really was. But again, this is not a sports car. You're gonna be on 60 sidewall tires. You're not gonna be going through the twisties on a daily basis in this car. It's more about just luxury and feel. And going about 45 miles per hour, there is a little bit of road noise through these tires, but not that much, guys. It's nothing to really complain about. But let's check out this vehicle's turning radius right here and see what we got. So, wow, that's really impressive for a mid-size sedan. The steering is pretty long. If you want to make a U-turn, you are going to be turning the wheel like 2.5 locks, but not a very big deal. We'll step back out onto this road over here, lean into it about halfway again. Wow, off the line, this thing can really move. Wow, okay, yeah, so I was not expecting. So the first gear in this car is really, really short of a ratio. So it really just launches you in first gear. Second gear is a little bit long. It's gonna take a little bit of a while to get into the power band if you wanna do a low RPM pull in second gear. But the steering right here, it's really sharp. It's not the most, like, you don't really have the most like feel, not the most confidence through the steering, but like there's literally zero play. You start to move the wheel, you're gonna be changing directions in this car. It's not a sports car. I'm not gonna try to claim like it is, but it is a very, very comfortable overall cruiser. But stepping onto this road, about third throttle, getting the RPMs to about 1800, you get to speed really, really quickly with basically zero effort at all. Definitely nothing to complain about, pretty impressive. But just cruising around 35, 40, you are gonna have a little bit of overall road noise, but nothing that you can't manage. For a vehicle that you can pick up around for $5,000 to $10,000 depending on the condition, definitely a very luxurious vehicle. The ride quality is fantastic. You run over the bumps, you don't even feel them. I do want to do an off-the-line acceleration run in this car and see how it really performs off the line. And I am going to throw on the hat so you guys can see a little bit of a POV. But so far, I'm really impressed considering the overall bang for the buck. This vehicle is not for sale. I'm sure if you give Jordan an offer, he can't refuse. It is what it is. But as of right now, this is his baby. He's going to be taking care of it and driving it until it falls apart, which should be a really long time till that day comes. All right, as soon as we get past this school zone, we'll test out a little bit of a pull. We'll just roll into it while we're going about 20 miles per hour. Step on the gas about halfway, try to see a little bit of passing power test, and the school zone ends right here. We'll slow down to about 20 miles per hour. Oops, there is somebody behind us, but okay, half throttle. Okay, there's very good pull for half throttle. It goes to about 4,500 RPM, and we reached X miles per hour very effortlessly. That was only half throttle. We're gonna test out, we're gonna hit this little roundabout in 1 second, see how this vehicle can do like a high-speed U-turn and really see how much body roll this thing really has. And then after that, we'll follow it up with a little bit of an uphill 0 to X mile an hour acceleration. But okay, slowing down on the brakes and throwing it in. Wow, the steering is really long and there is a decent amount of body roll, but we are coming out of here. Ooh, really long steering, guys, as you can see. And we're out. A little bit less than half throttle, and you got pretty good overall pull. But okay, we're gonna slow down right here, do a little bit of an uphill acceleration. We're not gonna floor it off the line. This is a V6 with front wheel drive. We're just gonna roast the tires, I know that. But try to get a good launch and then just see how this vehicle can accelerate past launch. But okay, boom. Little bit of wheel spin, leaning into it. Woo! Wow, this thing can really move. See, second gear, it doesn't really pull quite as hard in second gear. The first gear, it's really short, takes you to about 30 miles per hour, where second gear is gonna go to closer to like 70 miles per hour. Very long second gear. Maybe not that long, but it feels long. You could have probably, if it was a little bit shorter, this vehicle will definitely feel even snappier, maybe even like a 5.5 second 0 to 60 based on that first gear pull. Really impressive first gear pull. You can't even come close to putting the power down if you were to step in the gas more than like halfway off the line. But overall, super impressive vehicle so far. Let's throw on the hat real quick so you guys can get nice POV footage. But all right, guys, now that you guys have a first-hand look of this 2007 Toyota Camry, it looks pretty nice from a driver's standpoint. The steering wheel feels really good in your hands. We'll step out onto this road one more time. You guys can see us do a nice little twisty on the gas a little bit. Pretty good acceleration, as you can see. We're gonna slow down for this turn. You're gonna see that there's gonna be a decent amount of body roll right here. Ooh, wow. No understeer because we didn't push it that far, and coming out. Feels really nice. You have a little bit of road noise as you pick up speed, but nothing too crazy. We're gonna turn around up here and head back to Jenkins Mitsubishi, and again, huge thanks to Jordan for letting me review his really, really clean 2007 Camry XLE. And you guys can see the turning radius right here. Steering is ridiculously long, but kind of to be expected. The turning radius itself, it's pretty good. The wheel doesn't really come back into your hands as quickly as I would necessarily like it, but not a big deal. Stepping out into this road right here, regular acceleration, like a third throttle, taking you to about 2,500 RPM. you can see there's really good overall low-end torque. Definitely nothing to complain about for the value that you get. This is a really quick car, trust me guys. It would be nice if it came with a 4-wheel drive option so you didn't have as much wheel spin, but you throw some sticky 235s, 245s in this front setup, you'll have a pretty planted Camry. All right guys, stepping out to this car, let's throw it into the manual shift modes actually. So we are currently in 4th gear. Let's drop it down to 2nd and see what kind of pull we got. Wow, we are ripping the wheel right out of your hands. A lot of torque steer coming up. Wow, pretty nice. There's a lot of wheel spin and torque steer. We didn't even step in the gas close to all the way, but okay, throwing it in right here. Wow, yeah, it's actually not quite as rolly as it was in the really sharp turn. It's actually kind of fun because right now in sport mode where we got the manual shifters, the steering feels super sharp and you are just gone. Yeah, we're gonna put it back into regular drive. We don't have to beat it up too much, especially considering that we are in a pretty residential area, but I hope you guys get the point. This thing is definitely not a slouch. You're gonna have some pretty good peppy performance with this car. The steering feels great, the ride quality fantastic. Overall guys, very impressive vehicle. Other than that guys, thank you so much for watching. I had a great time making this video. Huge thanks to Jordan here at Jenkins Mitsubishi for making this review possible. Really kind dude. If you're looking for a new car in the Florida area, I would definitely check these guys out. But other than that, thank you so much for watching guys. I hope you enjoyed half as much as I enjoyed making this video. Please subscribe if you're new to the channel. If you've already subscribed, thank you so much. But if you haven't subscribed yet, please subscribe. Come join the W.T.F family. Leave a like too. It helps me out with the YouTube algorithm quite a bit. That's how these videos get promoted to new people. Leave a comment too. Let me know what you like. Let me know what you don't like. But other than that, thank you so much for watching guys. And I hope all of you have a great day.